Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee, and this is my channel where I like to talk about all the things that I've been knitting on over the past week. Today is Sunday, January 4th, 2026, and this is episode 120. Today is my first regular episode of 2026. The last episode was my everything I'm bringing into 2026 with me and what my stash stats were and my goals for 2026. And so this is just a regular episode today. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. And last year I did a Scrappy make along where I had 3 categories that you could post your finished objects in, and I will be pulling winners for that in the next episode. I have locked the threads, and so I just need to go back through and random number generate the winners and get the prize packages put together, and then I will announce those on here probably next week. And I will also, the day of the video, I will send out a message on Ravelry if you won. And then I'll get some pictures and pop them in of the winners when I do my next episode. Today I'm coming to you from Southwest Wyoming, where I live with my husband, our daughter, and our little Yorkie, Dax. It is currently 46 degrees outside. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. We have been super cloudy here in Southwest Wyoming for the last couple of days, but still no snow. I don't know if I remember a time where we hadn't had any snow in January. Like, didn't snow really at all this year. So let's talk about some finished objects, some works in progress, some mail. But the first thing is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the California sweater. This is a fingering weight held with a mohair. The yarn I used is from Blackbird Sycamore. It should be up here. The color I used and the designer of the pattern. I really like this drop shoulder design. It is super nice and warm, but also very light. It's knit on a size 10 millimeter needle, so it's pretty drapey, kind of airy, but the mohair keeps it warm. I think you're supposed to hold it with a strand of cereal alpaca, but I just used mohair on this one, and I really like how it fits. Let's talk about finished objects. My first finished object I have are my morning coffee socks. I finished both of them. I did cast on 64 stitches on a US size 0 9-inch circular needle. I used the German twisted cast on. I did 2x2 rib for 20 rounds. I did the pattern for 70 rounds. I put in a slip stitch heel flap, and then I finished out the pattern on the top, stockinette on the bottom, and then when I got to the toe decreases I changed to the contrast color. And this is Momma Jess Knits, in the color reading is Magical. This was the first color, or the first skein in the 4 Sundays of Advent that she did. It was a book themed, so all of the colors were based on some pictures that she had. So this one was reading is Magical, and the contrast is Grinning Cat. And I am excited to wear these. They look so fun. I love all of the colors in here. So that was my first one. Then I finished my Musselburgh hat. This is the Musselburgh by Ysolda Teague. I was able to make it long enough to fold the brim up super far, and I did the adult small size with the 8 stitches per inch gauge, and I will put that on. It's still a little slouchy on the top, but it folds up big, and so it will cover my ears and my neck and keep me warm this winter. It is a long tube that you fold up into itself for a double thick hat. You gotta kind of mess around with it the first few times that you fold it in on itself, and then once it's there and you've worn it a few times, it likes to go back to where it was. Okay, let's see. Let's fold this way. Use the table and see if I can kind of get it straight again. Put the two increase and decrease holes together. There we go. So this is how big it is folded, and then I like to fold it like that, and then this part right here is 4 layers. I do like a very tight gauge on my hats and my socks. I think it just keeps me warmer. So that was the two things I finished in the last 3-4 days. So I recorded on, what day was that? Thursday. So I didn't get much knitting done on Thursday because I had to record twice, and then it was frustrating, and then it took 2 hours to upload. But I'm glad I got it done. I really wanted to record it. I wanted to document what I had at the beginning of the year. So I had Friday, Saturday, and today, and I finished these two. They were almost done. I was halfway through the foot on this one, and I think I only needed to knit about 20 more grounds on this one. So it was almost done, and I was able to finish both of these on Friday, and then this one blocked Friday night into Saturday morning. And so let's talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is in this Happy Mermaid Yarn Co. bag. I got this bag and the yarn that's in it as a set, and this is Christmas morning. And it came with the main skein and a mini. And I'm doing the second breakfast pattern by Witchery. It is this nice ribbed waffle pattern, and I was right here last time. I showed it on the first, and I've been able to knit that much. I put in the heel last night and this morning, and I am on the gusset decreases right now. So this should be done in a couple of days, this first sock, and then I will start on the second one. I also knit this on a size 0 9-inch circular needle. I did 64 stitches, 2x2 cuff for 20 rounds. I did the leg part for 70 rounds, and then started the heel. So that is the first one. I wore my gingerbread socks with the second breakfast pattern I think all day yesterday, and I love how they fit. So I wanted to do another second breakfast pattern. Then on Friday I went and got my allergy shot and needed a project to take with me. This one was too close to the heel and I didn't want to put in the heel while I was waiting. I have to sit there for like 20 minutes to make sure I don't have a reaction. And so I took this sock set with me. This is a Momma Jess sock set. This was, I want to say this was the 4th Sunday, and it is called Book Lover, and the mini is gold. There's the cake and the mini, and I was able to knit, oops, this much while I was waiting on my allergy shot. Focusing, there we go. So this is the vanilla bean pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. This is also a 4-row repeat. I think this one and this one are 4-row repeats. I really like how these colors are working together. So this one's going to be on the needles for a little while. I did cast on all 4 sock sets and 2 other Christmas colors in December. I had, I want to say, let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 7 socks on the needles. I finished 1, so I have 6 pairs of socks going right now. So let's talk about the next thing. My next thing I worked on is in this bag that I also got with my 4 Sundays of Advent sock sets. This is my Love Light blanket. Using my Scrappy swap that I got for December, and I have added in another color. I was right there last time, so I've added in this purple. Let me grab the and I think I've had enough left over that I can put in. After I put it in this project, I'm able to put it into my Memories blanket, my mitered square blanket. So this is just gonna be big enough to set on my lap when I'm sitting in the living room, knitting, watching TV, watching YouTube. So I love this. I love the pattern. It is addicting, and you just go back and forth and back and forth. It's so squishy, and I love to see what the next color looks like in there. So I'm going to try to do a couple of stripes a week on this one, because I want to finish it before the end of February. I think I can do that. Then I have one more work in progress that I worked on in the last 4 days. But let's talk about my melting marl blanket that was in this tote. I was using all of my pink scraps in there, and I said I wanted to frog it and start a different blanket. And because I was holding 2 strands of fingering at the same time to marl together to get the DK weight, as I ripped it out, I I had two strands of yarn. So I put one on one ball winder, and my other ball winder isn't as big, so this is what I got after I started ripping out. So I have all of this that was in there before that I am going to restart a blanket. I'm thinking about doing the Painting Waves blanket by Stephen West. It is 1 stitch count throughout the whole blanket. You don't change stitch counts, you don't change pattern repeats. It's the same throughout the whole blanket. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this. And so I did get that one frogged. I don't know if I told you in my last video what the actual total of how many whips I had at the very end of the video. I had 22 works in progress, counting all of the things. So after ripping this out and frogging it, that brought it down to 21. Then I finished these two. Finished this one first, so it brought it down to 20, 19. And then I did cast on a new project, so that brought it back up to 20. I am doing another Stephen West project. I had, not last year, the year before, I made a Painting Honeycombs blanket where I used the Lion Brand Mandala, the ombre. This is the color Serene, and this is the color Mantra. So these two colors. And I did a Painting Honeycombs blanket, and this was on the outside and this was on the inside, and it reminded me of a mermaid. I made it for one of the ladies I work with. I made it for her daughter because her and my daughter used to play after school together, and so I made her a blanket. And I had that left over. I wasn't sure how much yarn I needed, so I overbought for it, and I had some extra in my stash, and I wanted to use it to make another blanket. And so I took the cord from the Melting Marl blanket, and the needle size was different, so I changed needles, and I cast on the Painting Honeycombs, and I'm doing it in reverse of what I did last time. Last time the blue was on the outside and the pink was on the inside. So this is the baby blanket size. This is the small size. It says it's the size of a baby blanket. I think this is a really good throw size. I am going to do the number of repeats for the large size. That'll just make it taller. That's what I did last time, and it made it a good child size throw. So I had the leftover cake of the blue and a little bit of leftover of the pink that I started out with. So I have some ends I already need to weave in, but I want to make this as a Christmas gift. This is going to go to a family that has three kids, two girls, two boys, and I talked to their mom and got their favorite colors. This one likes pink and blue, so I did these two colors together. And so I'm going to do the Painting Honeycombs blanket for all three in their favorite colors, and hopefully I can have all three done for Christmas. If I do one honeycomb repeat a day for each one of them, I can have them all done by October. So hopefully I can do that. and I will keep working on this, and that will get some yarn out of my stash, and I will be able to gift some blankets at the end of the year. That was everything I worked on this week. I did order some yarn before the first of the year, and I did receive that yarn. I ordered, I was on Etsy, and I was just scrolling through because I had notifications on Etsy, and it said, oh, look at all these deals, and I was like, okay. And then there was a mini skein set for 25% off, and I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting. So I went to the shop, and it said 25% off mini skein set, regular price $50, sale price $37 something. And I was like, yeah, that's not too bad. I've gotten a mini skein set from Yarn Cafe Creations. I think it was $35 for 10 20-gram minis, and I got 3 of them, and I did my Scrappy Advent a couple years ago for myself. I put them in little bags in April, and then I opened them in December, and that was pretty fun. So I was like, I'll go check that out. And the listing didn't say how many minis you got. It just said mystery mini set, and I was like, okay, we'll try it. I got the set. It came in this cute little baggie, and I got this set from Coconut and Cashmere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 100 grams, and this is basic sock set mini skein, 75, 25, 20 grams each. So there's 100 grams right here, and then I think they threw in an extra mini, so 120 grams for $37. That's, in my mind, that is not a sale. 120 grams, I can get a sock set for that same price, regular price. So I was kind of disappointed. But on the listing, it did not say how many you got. So that was, I tried to read to see, and it just said mystery minis, and you could pick the price you wanted to pay, but it never did say how many came in each one. So I was just a little disappointed when I only got 120 grams for $37. That's not a sale. That's regular price. So that will be going into my minis that I have up here for extras, and that's the only thing I received in the mail. I did order, I should be getting my Yarn Prairie December yarn in a couple of days that I ordered before. I think I ordered it the beginning of December or in November. And then my Momma Jess yarn for January, and she does have the listing up for February, so I will be purchasing that one. So that is everything I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for subscribing, for sticking around, for liking and commenting on my videos. It really does help this channel, and I do love interacting with you guys in the comment section. I have learned so much about each of you, and I would like to continue that. So leave a comment of what you're working on. What was your favorite thing you saw today? And I will see you next week. Thank you for stopping by, and happy knitting.